Hi, I'm Rico. I'm a client advisor here at Gaziano Girling. I've been here since the beginning of 2022 and I work here in our only store on Savile Row. So I have a background in tailoring and I've always believed that being appropriately attired in both your outfits and your shoes is very important. So I was previously a client here at G&G and the opportunity arose, and 7 months later I'm talking to you on camera. I've been influenced greatly by the sort of pop culture of sartorial figures from the 30s and people like Daniel Craig and Sean Connery in Bond. Being in London, you see very well-dressed people as well. That sort of influences my style, or perhaps seeing my grandfather dress up when I was younger was a big influence for me. I think my footwear style says that I'm conservative in that the colours I choose aren't particularly bold or bright, but I'm daring enough to choose something like a patina, which is a hand-painted finish that we offer here. I like to play around with a conservative model or a very simple model and a patina, or on the flip side with coin, I like to play around with a very intricate model in a plain leather, so a calf, a black calf, a navy calf, or that sort of thing. Gaziano Girling to me is the epitome of craft, finesse and experience. I think we have the highest level of craft in the industry. You know, we're made on site in Kettering. We have all of our artisans who are trained in what they do. The finesse of the European influence whilst retaining the British level of making. We don't say that your journey ends when you leave the store with your pair of shoes. We say the journey ends once you've resold them for the final time. So working here really is not just a job, it's a passion as well. Having such beautiful shoes around you, it's difficult to ignore the level of craft that we have. It's a lovely thing to be able to see and feel every day. I can't put my finger on one. It's a general collection of experiences of drawing a client to a model which they previously had never seen. They thought, actually, I came in for a black Oxford, but I left with a black hole cut. Something similar to that. It's having somebody imagine and be confident with a model that they'd never previously fathomed is a nice part of the job. So in the box is an Astaire. It's a wingtip model with an Adelaide facing. I've done it in black calf, so very traditional, on the square deco last. Just like Mr. Astaire himself, it's a vintage inspired model with a lovely flair. Very elegant shoe, beautiful sharp shape. I've actually removed the medallion of this model just to give it a nice elongated line and to have it slightly more formal. Toe tip so I can tap dance like Fred. Super pleased because it's one of our deco shapes. I've got the tree that's lasted specifically for the deco shoe. Lasted length and width, you know, extracts the moisture as you take them off and leave them in there overnight. It's always an important thing. We always say that trees, polish and cream are three things that are going to keep your shoes going for years and years. So we always listen out for a particular sound, an indication of a good length. And that was it. I laced them in a way which I'm yet to have them unlace on me or unravel. A bit complicated, but an investment of time that pays off during the day. I've added what's called an extended stiffener into this shoe, which means that the hard countering has been extended through the arch, giving my arch more support through here, and it feels wonderful. Super happy with the finished pair. With the design, it lends itself to it could be a three-piece business suit, which you'll often see me in, or something as casual as separates. You know, it's slightly less of a shine on the toe. I think I don't have a particular outfit in mind, but they're so versatile that I don't really need to. Being a wingtip, we've often seen clients do this particular model as a spectator. So a spectator is a shoe with different leathers or suede combinations throughout, meaning you could have the wingtip at the front here as a suede and the rest of the shoe in leather, and it would be a lovely, casual, slightly fancier shoe. You could have it in a hatch grain and make it slightly more rugged for the country, or as I've done it, which is perfect for business in the city. So by standard, we often have a single oak bark sole, oak bark being the leather it's made from, or the way it's tanned. Single being the thickness of it, so I've gone for the most classic and traditional sole. As you can see, there are metal plates towards the end of the sole which just reinforce the toe. If you imagine the natural walking motion is heel and toe, the toe is going to be the first thing that wears out, especially with the way I walk. So that sort of reinforces it and provides additional longevity. I always thought beginning my shoe journey would be go the most classic route and you'll never regret it. You'll never look at a pair of shoes you bought and think I should have gone for a slightly rounder toe or a slightly more conservative calf. But as with anything, the more you build on that, the more you realise that you can experiment. The majority of the shoes I have from G&G are on a more elongated last. I prefer the aesthetic of them. We've absolutely nailed the proportions, and we like to say that beauty is behind proportion. The square deco is my personal favourite toe shape that we offer. I think it works with all of the models that we have in here. I absolutely love the way it looks, and it lends itself to a more formal style of footwear, which I prefer, and that's the reason I choose a more elongated style. So I've chose a very exciting, sparkling water, a bit more life in it than ordinary still water. A bit like the shoes, I've chosen a black shoe but with a bit more life, so it's a nice parallel to that. Well, that's it from me. I'll let the shoes do the talking, and we'll see you next time.